Alright, how's it going, everyone? Around 11 hours ago, Update 2 for Anime Rangers X came out, and I'm actually re-recording this video because I think when I did it earlier, I was a little all over the place, but I hope I'm not too all over the place this time. I wanted to talk about the state of this game right now, and especially some news regarding new developers and a practically whole new team that is going to be working on this game moving forward, and what I think about that. So first, let's just go over some of the main points of this update. If you want a TLDR, I really think it's overall just a mid update. Like, I've been pretty harsh on this game, at least in my last two videos, or relating to the, update reviews and stuff, and I think I've been pretty harsh for like a good reason. I think this game is just kind of, it's a cool concept, but I think everything is just executed horribly, especially with units and balancing units and stuff like that. I just don't think it's just good, right? Because especially with a lot of like mythics from the banner and stuff, like they just do not compete when it comes to secret units at all, practically. So it is what it is, right? But I think things could definitely be different. But if we go over, the first obvious thing right here is a new lobby, and that's a great change. I really like this new lobby compared to the last one. The last one was I feel it was very bland, and I got sick of it really quickly. And even though this one is a lot bigger, it doesn't take too long to get around. You can always use this ping thing, whatever, and then you can teleport everywhere. But it is just a nice aesthetic and just a better looking lobby, in my opinion. Since we're here, I don't know why anybody even, why this is put in the game. A $300 emote, or not $300, a $300 Robux emote, and it's limited. I don't know who's buying this. I don't think this is getting under 500 sales. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who's emoting in this game because you're always macroing. So, I'm just saying. But another big change was if we go to the store, we go down, we try to buy the instant reroll skip. Oh, well, where is it? It's gone. They removed it. So, this is a great change. I don't think there should be fast start either. I thought those two game passes were horrid and a bad precedent to set for these types of games, and you should get this quality of life in the first place for free. Now, while this is a good thing, of course, it also comes into question. So while that's a good change, I don't even know if the players that bought that Game Pass are getting compensated. Sure, you can say it's only 50 Robux, but that doesn't really hold up. Like, you bought this and they completely removed it, right? You need to get those Robux back, or you need to get compensated in some way because it's not fair to the people who bought it. I'm lucky enough, I didn't buy it. I'm still not going to buy this fast start Game Pass. I only bought VIP. That's it for me. But while I think it's a good change, it's kind of hard to justify removing it when it's already in the game, especially when it's a Game Pass. So, and as you can see, if we go to the trait reroll, I'll just do, who can we do? We'll do Tundra. Let's hope I don't get something good. Yeah, see, it's instant, and I don't have the Game Pass, and the Game Pass is not in the game. So, moving on, a big thing I was excited for was Infinity Castle. I've only done 2 stages, but I get the gist of it, and it is, again, at best, okay. It's really nothing special. I thought it would be more fun, but it's kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just, well, it's not annoying, it's just boring. Straight up, it's just boring. So basically, instead of it just being a regular stage and you just keep moving up, there's actually this one map, I believe, and it's just, well, I guess, it's based off of Demon Slayer, right? So there's going to be these 3 different paths, as you can see, and enemies are going to continuously spawn from each path, and you basically just have to change your targeting to specific paths to deal with the enemies. So, it's a little more complicated compared to everything else, but that's about it, right? You have to defeat, 10 bosses, or 6, whatever it is, to advance to the next stage. And yeah, these rewards, I don't know how good they are. It's just a bunch of gems at this point. It might not be changing since I'm clicking lock stages. But another thing, another game mode for rewards. The map looks nice, I think, but that's about it. Another new game mode that was added was the boss attack mode, and this isn't too complicated. You just go in, you fight a boss, and you see how much damage you can do in a matter of a couple minutes. I think it's like maybe 3 minutes, might be 5 minutes, I can't remember. It's a couple minutes, but as you can see, I did like no damage. My units aren't good. I'm trying, but like I just play when I want to. I'm not gonna grind this game like crazy. But yeah, you get 3 tickets every, I guess, probably 30 minutes. It might be like 45 or an hour. I think it's like 30 or 45 minutes here. But depending on how much damage you do in one game move per se, you get a certain amount of tickets, and then you can buy whatever you want here. You're probably going to be buying trait rerolls, obviously. Now, I thought this was going to be a definitive way to grind trait rerolls, but again, there's a cooldown on how many tickets you get per whatever, like 30, 45 minutes. So you are limited there, but if you're crazy, you got a bunch of sovereigns, you're probably getting crazy amounts of tickets or tokens, and you're going to be able to buy a bunch of rerolls, you know, so on. But that's about it with that. New level milestones, perfect, right? It's pretty easy to reach level 100, especially if you're macroing all the time. But the cap is now raised to 200, and you get a lot more rerolls and, you know, rewards in general. So again, let's go to tournaments real quick. This is such a garbage addition, at least the way they implemented it. This guy's a 35-hour run. Maybe it's because he's Aonakoji. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what kind of balancing was thought of when making this game mode. But, you know, I'm just not going to play it because there's no point. It's like, at least with other games like Anime Vanguards, if you do the tournament, you kind of have a chance and you have a feeling, you know, oh, maybe I can get first place, maybe 10th. But this is just a matter of keeping your computer on and having sovereigns, right? Or just good units. So just a very bad tournament mode. And what else do we got? I guess we have new story stages and legend stages. Story stages, nothing new. I mean, a new map, which I honestly I don't think it looks that good, the map itself. It's just kind of, there's a lot of hills, and that's not an issue to begin with, but the hills look like just weird. They look like really low poly, and it just looks, I don't know, maybe I'm being too nitpicky. Or it could because I have low detail mode on or something, but it just doesn't look good in my eyes compared to everything else like Ghoul City or like Leaf Village or something like that. But the Ranger stages, it's your average Portal game mode. You know, you get the 25%. I'm sure it goes. I haven't unlocked them yet, but I'm sure the chance of getting a Portal goes up, and you know the tier goes up as you do that. This Legend stages, again, the way Ranger stages work in this game is awful because of the cooldown, and on top of that, there is a low percent chance to get an actual portal, and since there's multiple tier portals, it's just there's so much chance stacked up against the player. It's just so annoying to try to get a unit. I was lucky enough to get Crimson Owl. I don't even know how I got her, but you know, it is what it is. Or I'm just happy about that. And you know, no new battle pass, I guess, but there was also a quest step added to get Poochie, I believe. I don't know where that guy is. He's on one of these corners here. Oh, he's all the way over there. You do his quest. If I can find it in the patch notes. Yeah, I'll put it up on screen, but you know, you do all those steps. I don't know. It's not like too hard. It's just, again, tedious. I guess you could say you have to get a couple units and stuff, but he's probably really good since he is, you know, probably like a secret or whatever you want to call it. Again, with most of these mythics, they just don't compare to secrets and limiteds, like, you know, Madara, Crimson Owl, even Gogeta. Is this Gogeta? Just, you know, whoever he is. You know, I wasn't lucky enough to get Sid, but from what I've heard, he's kind of like whatever. I think even after the buff to him or change to him, you know, if you have Sovereign on him, yeah, I'm sure he's going to be doing just fine. But it is what it is again, and I don't even know if there's much to go over again. You can upgrade more of your yen generator up to 35, you know, from 30 to 35. That's crazy, right? And there was one quality of life added, and now you can filter your stat potential rerolls. If that makes any sense, I can show you an example real quick. So if we go over here to stat potential, as you can see, there's a config button now, and you can basically you filter out what stats you want, and you can reroll. It uses a certain amount of keys to get, you know, an S rank, for example, instead of having to click through a bunch of C, Ds, Bs, you know, all the like the garbage rolls, right? So that's great. But that's the only quality of life. There really isn't many changes. Like otherwise, like I said, I think Ranger stages need a complete rework. And like, yeah, that's one of the big things. And especially with like mythic units, I feel like they need, like, you know, just some help compared to secret units. Again, I'm sure if you have a Sovereign on any one of these units, well, most of these units are going to be doing fine. But still, especially with these mythics, they have like 2-3 evos, some of them, and it's like, is that even worth it? Or should I just grind one portal to get a secret unit and hope I get lucky with a Sovereign that'll just completely power creep that previous mythic unit? So yeah, that's about it. So I would normally end it here, but we got some big news regarding the development team. So if I will post this on the screen, but so earlier in the day, Manzi, which I believe was the former owner or like, you know, main dev or something, I don't know the exact role they were in, but they send out a message in an announcement saying, thank you for all the support for our little game, goodbye at everyone. And then you scroll down and he says Boss Studios will continue to develop. So obviously the development team has been handed over to another person or another group of people. and I wasn't familiar with this person, but I believe they did work on ALS. And yeah, as you can see, Boss Studio says if we can save 2024 ALS, we can save 2025 ARX. So I know ALS is doing pretty good right now. I only played it once. I thought it was all right, and hopefully he can save this game because it does need a lot of work. I think there should be an incentive to play more instead of macroing, like with any game. And I think it's like, I don't think it's a good argument to say, well, dude, this is a macro game. Like, that it's a I feel like that's so stupid. I feel like you should be wanting to play a game instead of just leave it on the computer. I think that's, of course, should be a side grade, right? If you want to leave it on, you can get some extra rewards in the background, sure, dude. But I feel like you should be wanting to play a game and actually enjoy what it has to offer, right? And they did a podcast, and there was oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, there was a summarization. I'll put up on the screen. I'll read it real quick. So, Brandon joined the ARX development due to old devs going busy to school. That's understandable. If they don't got time to work on the game, hand it over to somebody else so they can, polish it, make it better, right? New batch of balancers, posts, and etc. Just like a new team of testers and stuff like that. I believe that's what that means. And also, former owners of LD, I don't know what that is, have a part 2 prepared, and Boss Studio are pushing for the part 2 of JoJo update release. So if you didn't know, I guess this update 2 is part 1 of this JoJo update, and they're going to add a part 2 later on. That's fine, I guess. Power creep will not be a problem for ARX. I don't know how much I believe that. We will have to see. But there's always gonna be some sort of power creep, even if it's a small amount. There's gonna be power creep, right? And finally, early ARX updates will change from weekly for more content, but we'll switch to bi-weekly updates till the content is good enough. Now, if I'm reading this right, if they're talking about weekly updates, I don't know how that's gonna work, to be honest. I don't think weekly updates, I guess they're okay, right? That's great, a bunch more content, but you have to realize the devs are working so much, they're going to have to release things unfinished or untested. I don't believe you're gonna have enough time to add so much content weekly, right? Unless it's little by little. And I guess they switched to bi-weekly, which I think is a better schedule for just a development team in general, right? And that's about it for the podcast summarization with the new developers. But as you can see, this guy also goes to say Brandon did not buy ARX or game being sold. So I guess, Manzi didn't sell this game to Boss Games. I guess he's just gonna help it. I guess just try to revive it, because it's been very, very on the downcline recently with these updates and stuff. So hopefully this new team can bring this game to life and just make it a little better, make it more fun to play, balance stuff a little better, and just, get everything in check. That's all we can ask for, right? Want a decent game to play. So that's about it, right? I'm not going to trash on this update too much. Well, I think it's bad. I think it's just more of stuff we've seen, right? New Ranger stages, everybody sees the portal. I don't think anybody thinks that this portal system is good. Right, I don't know how, but we got Infinity Castle. That's again whatever. The boss attack mode is whatever. The map of this isn't too good. It's just kind of just like a base plate with terrain, which I guess it's supposed to be like an arena kind of thing, but it just doesn't look that good. That's about it, right? Sid is gone. I didn't get him. I didn't feel like it. My runs were taking too long, and it's just I was just grinding other stuff, right? So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I think this is just an overall like a 5 out of 10 update, just very, very mid. I do hope this new dev team can improve this game and will take their time with it, and most importantly, listen to community feedback. That's a huge part in a game's success, is listening to the dedicated players, or just players in general, right? And that's how you keep a positive relationship with the community that keeps coming back and playing your game, right? Please let me know what you think about this update. I hope to see better of this game in the future. And again, I hope this new dev team can, really bring this game to life again. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to sub if you enjoyed, and let me know what you think about this update in the comments. Peace.